Hey everybody, welcome back to the 90th minute. Before we get started, I just want to make a quick announcement regarding the channel name. So, as you already know, the channel name is the 90th minute, but I've thought about it and I think I'm going to gear this channel more into a New England Revolution fan channel as opposed to an MLS channel in general. I found out that it is tough for just one person to kind of give news and stay as up to date as possible with the league, while also trying to, live my life as well. So, and I've always wanted to do more of a fan channel in general, and of course, as the New England Revolution are my home team, I thought this would be a unique and kind of great opportunity to drive home a fan channel for Revs fans. And to my knowledge, I haven't found any Revs channels for across YouTube. So, to my knowledge, this is the first one. So everybody, welcome. It's great to have you. My name's John. In case this is your first time joining, and let's get started with the show. All right, here is the preview for the New England Revolution versus Toronto this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the current table we have right now. So, Revs fans, close your eyes, but we already know this, so do what you want with them. We are ranked 29th, or excuse me, 28th out of 29 in the MLS right now. We are bottom of the barrel in our conference and 15th. Okay, it is ugly for us this season, and I'm not sure if there's any hope of us kind of rebounding back. Of course, we have the quality of players to do that. We saw it in the Bruce Arena era, where this is an extremely similar team to what we have, minus goalkeeper and Mensa. But this team is almost identical to what we had, and we saw the potential that potential that Bruce Arena brought and lived up to. So with Caleb Porter, it's been a rough start, and we'll see if we can bounce back. I surely hope we do. Toronto have been a surprisingly good team this year. Well, surprisingly average. In other words, they've definitely surpassed expectations from last season. But they already lost Insigne due to injury, so that's good news for us. Although, you never wish to have injuries for other opponents. But we are bottom of the barrel right now, so we can get a little bit lucky. I do want to point out some stats that I wrote down comparing Porter to Herdman, the Toronto coach. Caleb Porter is averaging 1.48 points per game across his whole career. So you'd say, okay, that's fairly average, slightly below average, but it's not sackable, right? This season, small sample size, but this season he's averaging 0.57 points per match. 0.57. Now, when we look at it the other way around, John Herdman's averaging 1.25. So, even then, I would tell you that's not great, but that's more than double of what our productivity has been this season. Okay? We are underdogs again, and we will most likely be underdogs for majority of our games until we can turn the ship around. So I just want to drop that quick little Porter versus Herdman stat from this season. Of course, Porter is a more established coach. To an extent, I think he's got more games under him, although Herdman is the Canadian national team coach, or the former Canadian national team coach. So he's got a bit of experience as well. Different type of experience, but it goes a long way, of course. Another thing that I wanted to bring to our attention is the goalkeeper comparison. And I looked into some stats about Ravas versus Gavrin, and let me pull that up for you while I'm looking at it. So here's Ravas stats. Okay, we can see that he's conceding 2 goals a game, making, we'll round up 3 saves per game. Not horrible, but it does say 59% of shots he's saving. So he's facing a lot of shots. The big one for me that really caught my eye is these goals prevented. Okay, take a look at that really quick. 0.1 goals prevented per game. All right, so now if we pull up Gavron's right next to it, so right on the right side here, you can see that. Let me get out of the way. Goals conceded 1.3. Okay, slightly better. Saves per game is 5, but look at his goals prevented, 1.76. Okay, so most of the shots that he's facing are he is saving, as opposed to what Ravis is doing. He's saving 60% of the shots. Gavrin's saving 80% of the shots. And goals prevented, this is more about the quality of shot, right? So if Ravas is getting a difficult shot placed on him, there's a strong chance he's letting it go in, as opposed to Gavrin's 1.76. He's doing a better job at stopping more difficult shots. And of course, that's what we're paying the goalies to do. And Ravas is a Caleb Porter signing, which does reflect on him slightly, although our defense hasn't been great with Brandon buyout. DeJuan Jones is also going to be out. I'm expecting him to be out this game because of the injury against New York. So it is unfortunate that the back line has changed a little bit. But still, right? Our goalies' jobs are to save shots, right? Keep clean sheets. And then you can worry about distribution and all that a little bit later once the team identity has been built, which ours has not. Moving on. This is the predicted 11 I have for us this weekend, okay? Vroni up top. I think he's basically locked into that position just because of his work rate alone. He's had chances. He's not tucking them away. The only thing we can really kind of do as fans is just hope that he finds some form. Let him get the back of the net a couple times and hope it just keeps rolling, right? Chancalay on the left, Carlos Heel in the center, and then Nacho Heel on the right. Same as against New York. Chancalay has been okay. I thought he was probably one of our more dangerous players against New York. He's very direct. When he gets the ball, he wants to run at the opponent. Very, very. If there's space behind the opponent, if the defense is playing a low block, then he keeps possession a little bit, swings it around, which is fine, right? That's what we want. We don't want our wingers to lose possession and then us having to fight for it again. Carlos Heel in the center. This is the main man, right? This is the guy that's supposed to be leading us, and yeah, he sure is trying it at times, against Club America. I thought he wasn't really putting in a considerable shift, but in the league so far, I can't say he hasn't been doing that. We're just not doing well in transition, right? We're playing a low block a lot of the time, and as soon as teams turn over the ball, we're looking to get it to him right away, but we don't have runners, right? It's his only outlet has really been Vroni, and I mean, that speaks for itself. I think, what does he have? 1 goal. So we need more help. Nacho Heel and Chancalay need to be running the flanks a lot quicker. Our transitioning has been pretty shambolic, and Carlos Heel can only do so much. So as much as he's the captain, you can say the attitude hasn't been great, or the leadership hasn't been great. He's one player, and he's an attacking player. So his job is to create. We are not creating, and that is not his fault. I bring that back to Caleb Porter and the 4-2-3-1 formation. I don't think it's suiting our team, although we have had success with it in the past. I just think the low block is killing us. We're not pressing. There is no press out of possession. So it's just not working. I think this team can press. I think I'd like to see this team press up higher up the pitch, but it doesn't look like they're being ordered to do that. So why would they? Moving on, Nacho Heel on the right. he puts a shift in. I don't have a lot of expectation for him when it comes to productivity. I know he's gonna work on that right side, helping Lima out, getting forward, trying to maintain possession, and then looking for his brother. That's kind of the roles of everybody, though, right? And it's simple tactics, um, and it's elementary, right? It's get the ball to heel and let him do something. I mean, we're looking for moments of individual brilliance in a team that was in the top half easily last year in the East with the same roster. So I'd like to see more, triangles, connections with the passing, but we just don't do that right now. And you can tell from watching the team, the boys are low in confidence. Um, we've had one clean sheet this season, and it was our only win of the season against Charlotte. And granted, I mean we escaped that game lucky to win, right? They missed a couple sitters to go one up, to go 1-1, or maybe even 2-1. So, but hey, that's part of the game. We'll take a win when we can, right? We need it. So, all right, moving on. This is where I have a little bit of a problem, and there's not much flexibility to move it around. I just think it comes down to the formation of the team. But Harks and Polster as the two CDMs playing as that protective, shielding the center backs. I don't think the IQ is there between the Harks, Polster, and Heel to kind of link up and get the team moving as quickly as possible, right? So their job is for the center backs, Kessler and Romney, to receive the ball from them and then spray it out wide, or look for Heel to then lead the attack. Whenever Polster and Harks get the ball, they play it backwards again. They'll get the ball, they don't turn around. They play it back to Lima or Spalding or Jones, and then it turns into hoof it up the pitch. Veroni's got to run for it, but it's never near Veroni, and then we piss possession away again. So this is what I meant by we don't have an identity. Are we trying to play out the flanks? Are they passing it out to the fullbacks to then get Chancalay and Nacho Heel on the ball? Are we trying to play out the wings, or is it because there's no confidence in the team in the build up and our style of play is now long ball, right? So, which one is it? Your guess is as good as mine. But that's the issue I have with those two, and I think at least I don't rate Harks extremely high. I think there's a player in Polster. I like Polster, but the two CDMs doesn't work. I don't think his football intelligence is quick enough to receive the ball and turn, or identify danger when it's close to him when he's on the ball. And I think that's why we see not only him but Harks just make backwards and sideward passes for 90 minutes. It's frustrating to watch. Maybe you guys disagree with me, but take a look at it this game. I'm sure they'll do it frequently. I noticed it a lot against New York, and New York was a game we should have been competitive with, and we let the game slip. We didn't have too many chances, and we looked out of sync. Lima, Kessler, Romney, and Spalding. So Spalding is in the predicted lineup just because of the injury situation with DeJuan Jones, the hamstring injury. We haven't had much clarity on whether he's going to play or not. It's too bad, too. We never get injury updates, really, until game time. I blame the media for this. I don't know why there's not being coverage. The league has grown so much, and we're still out of the loop for everything regarding our team. Why is this happening? Romney and Kessler, fine by me. I wouldn't mind seeing Farrell in that center back or right back combo, but I'm as the same back three, maybe even back four if you're counting Spalding since he played majority of the game. That's okay with me. Not too many options in the back line. And then Ravas, yeah, I mean, of course he's going to start. This is Caleb Porter's signing. He needs to back his signing, right? He didn't play him against Club America, and that was a bit weird since it's so early in the season to say, I don't trust you anymore. But it's good to see that he played last game. He did okay last game. Excuse me. But he just needs confidence, and the back line isn't helping him. I think the constant backwards passing from Polster and Harks is also putting him under a lot of pressure, right? Because if ball's going back to the fullbacks might play it back to him, and he's just got to spray it up there because we're not a passing out of the back team. We're not a possession-based team right now, and it makes his distribution look quite bad. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but we're judging it off of clearances that are forced clearances. Excuse me, not forced. They're unforced clearances that we put ourselves in. So that's the predicted lineup today. My match prediction for this game, believe it or not, I think we can tie this game. I think this game has 1-1 written on it. Toronto have been quite good at home. They're 2-1 at home. They beat Charlotte and they beat Atlanta. 2 very respectable wins. Granted, those were with Insigne, who was their top scorer before last week. So he has had a great impact on the team, and he looks a lot more motivated than last year. Last year, I mean, Toronto was like the worst team in the league. They had the worst away record as well. I know they're playing home, but their away record was horrid last year. And then for us, we've played 2 away games, and we've lost both of them. And that goes to show how bad we've been. We've had 2 away games, and the rest have been home, and we are 28th out of 29th in the MLS, and we are sitting 15th in our conference. How long before we start calling for Porter's head? I mean, I want to back him. I back him for the time being, but New York was a winnable game. That is a team that you can go to and you can express yourself. You can play to your identity, and we failed to do that. Toronto isn't a fantastic team. They're a solid team. They're solid this year. I think they may have conned a few people from their start of the season, beating Charlotte and beating Atlanta, because they've kind of pulled back now, and they're not that same team. But they can still play. They have desire. They're hungry. They're hungry to show. That 3-5-2 formation that Herdman's been playing has been okay so far. So ultimately, this is a team we can go at. We can even play a low block. But the problem with the low block that Porter's been playing is when we play that low block, there is no opportunity to counter because we have no width. We tell Vroni to stay up by the halfway line, and then he'll to play a little bit behind him. And there's just it cannot be Heel and Vroni to the rescue, because Vroni isn't that type of player that we can rely on like that. Heel is for sure, but we need our wingers to be involved in the game, and we need Polster and Harks to push up the field more. And ultimately, if they push up the field and our back line pushes up the field, and we got that high line that we played quite a bit under Bruce Arena, but we haven't been doing that. And I wish I knew why. I hope Porter changes the way the team plays a little bit. I'd like to see a new identity from this team. I like to see us get back to winning ways. I like us to not win the wooden spoon. I'd like us to get into that playoff spot, although it is early and a lot can change. But he's in the hot seat. He's representing New England, not just Massachusetts or Foxborough. He's representing New England, which is it's a big role. It's a big role, especially stadium changes coming. New fans are going to be interested in the Revolution, especially if it gets into that close to Boston area. So there's a lot there will be a lot of eyes on him, or on the team. I don't, dependent on if he's still the coach for us, but there will be a lot of eyes on this team, and representing New England is is a tough job. I've got nothing else to say. This is, have the Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox. These are prestigious teams in this area. And why should New England, and the Patriots, I forgot the Patriots, why should the Revolution be the outliers of this? Just because it's the MLS? No, that's silly. This league is growing in a great trajectory. We should be fighting for that number one spot. We should be fighting for a playoff spot at the minimum every time. So thanks for tuning in. I know, a little bit of a rant. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any suggestions for channel names, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm trying or thinking about pulling away from the 90th minute just because I want to be more focused on the Revs. If you have any channel suggestions, feel free to comment it. I'm still looking for. I've got ideas. Nothing really that I'm sold on, but it's coming. It's coming. Hopefully, sometime next week or the following week, we'll have an official name and some new subscribers to kind of come along the journey with us. But anyways, thank you guys for listening. Hopefully, the Revs can pull off something on Saturday. And I hope you guys like this new kind of segment, look ahead preview, match preview. I have fun doing it. I like going into the stats a little bit. The more I watch the Revs, the more I can kind of judge them off. I know it's kind of early in the season. I've missed a few of the games, so it's kind of hard. I actually missed our first game against Toronto this season, so it's hard for me to compare how the tactics were from that game to this game since I didn't watch it. So as I get in the groove of this, I'm going to be a lot better about previews and things like that. But yeah, anyways, I gotta stop ranting. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you liked it, and we'll see you soon.